pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Linda Nemeth, if you want to come up and speak, then we're going to have...
I do. Thank you very much. I apologize for not being officially on the roster. I needed just 2 seconds. I had not officially met Commissioner Blair, Rear. So I wanted to make that introduction and officially introduce myself to you. I'm Linda Nemeth, the Tourism Director for Geauga County, and I did have an invitation to all of you. The 29th of January is our annual meeting, and at that time we'll be going over all of the wonderful things that Geauga Tourism is doing, and I'm hoping that you can all be in attendance. So I did have some information for you on that. Excuse me one second. So I'm going to pass those out. At that time, we're going to be going over some wonderful information. We also go over our budget. We voted new board members and a couple of exciting things that are going on this year. One for the record, just in case. We have a new Geauga County app that we will be previewing in our annual meeting that's very exciting. I'll talk to you more about that when I do my official presentation to you later this year. And we have a nationally known speaker that will be addressing our group this year. So it is on the 29th of January. It is in Middlefield at the community room above the fire station. We'll have good food, good fun. We do a dessert dash that's always exciting and fun. And I hope you can all be there. And welcome to our new commissioner.
Thank you very much.
That's all I have to say, so thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And what time is that meeting?
It is at 6:30.
Same day as the Township Association.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
For item number 1, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of January 13th, 2014.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Smitty?
Yes.
Commissioner Rear?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye. Okay. And item number 2 is the Commissioner Office is requesting the Board approve and execute resolution number 14-009 for itemizing of financials for the meeting of January 16th, 2014.
We just have the one financial travel request for the Office of Community and Economic Development that had some last minute travel we need to put that in place.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Smitty?
Aye.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye. Dave, on number 3 is, do you want to explain this?
Sure. There's a gas well on the fairgrounds that was placed there several years ago, Cutter Exploration. The county is entered into agreements with them in a couple other county locations, and we actually requested Cutter to put a gas well on the fairgrounds. The idea being that gas well revenue would go to the fair board, and so it does. It doesn't produce a whole lot of gas, but there's almost $4,200 going to the fair board to help them with their expenses. So just have to approve the encumbrance and the expenditure to turn that money over to the fair board that we received already.
Okay, so if we want to read number 3.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve an encumbrance and expenditure to the Geauga County Agricultural Society pursuant to ORC 1711.15 and 1711.16 for the year 2013 in the amount of $4,194.40, which is in line with total gas well revenue received by the county through December 31st, 2013 from a well located on the fairgrounds property.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Smitty?
Aye.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
I just didn't know.
Is there something else?
County auditor.
No. Yes. Oh, I'd be happy for you as well.
Okay. This one here involves the county auditor and involving Women's Safe.
That's the distribution of, the courts collect fees for marriage licenses and divorce fees. And then annually those fees can go to an organization, can only go to an organization that promotes assistance to domestic violence victims. So last year, I think it was about $15,000 collected. So Women's Safe is the organization.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the board request the county auditor to distribute the balance in the Domestic Violence Fund 2070 to Women's Safe, the local agency designated by the commissioners to receive such monies. This allocation is to be paid pursuant to section 3113.34 of the ORC for 2013 year in the amount of $15,145.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
And Commissioner Spillier.
Aye. Okay, anybody here from the Department on Aging, or are we just gonna read this
This
off?
is just some more housekeeping as far
Okay.
as getting people on the credit cards for the new year.
Okay, if you'd like to read number 5.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the application for authorization to permit the use of county credit cards Form ORC 301.27 for the Department on Aging for Western Reserve Farm Cooperative for Joanna Brace, Tom McCrew, Kathy Hartz, Rudy Bruning, Bob DeVevitz, Kathy Petrella, Bobby Seagraves, Adam Van Boxel, David Craig, Sylvana Costura, Mary Ann Deach, Becky Samarge, Dave Lalco, Sandy McLeod, Amber Weinhardt, and Mary Ann Van Pelt.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. And for archives. Morning, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, good.
Nice to see the sun.
Yeah,
Good to see
you're
you.
not kidding.
I'm here to ask you to hire Pamela Bastard for our archives and records clerk position. Is that the first one on here, or is it the other one?
Well,
That's a
15
second,
cent,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, the first one
Oh,
was.
yeah,
15-cent image thing.
It's not 15, it's 1.5.
yeah, 1.5.
Ah,
That's
put your
5
glasses
cents.
on.
I called her
No,
and said,
it's-
this is wrong.
I looked at that this morning, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
No,
What is that?
went from 2 cents in
It
county.
we had an agreement with Lake Business Products that they were doing our scan to microfilm, and it was 2 cents, and then it was 2 cents plus 5, 5%, and then it was 2 cents plus 5 plus 5. And so at the end of last year, when I went to negotiate, she just really wasn't budging at all. So the Cuyahoga County Microfilming Center offered us 1.5 cents for 3 years. I tried for 5, but wouldn't. But, and we did a test roll, the film came back good, it came back timely, the director there lives in Geauga, so he's gonna carry the film back and forth for us.
that's awesome.
So, he knows what's good. So, I'm pretty pleased with it, because I think we're gonna be doing a lot of film, because we're that close on the export towards Courtview, but we will, Dave, we'll talk about that a little bit, but, and Denise will pay for that, on my budget, but I think we're gonna make a lot of film this year, so I'm excited that we're doing it at a significantly reduced rate compared to what we paid last year.
And you're satisfied with the quality of the people that you said? and
So
the-
far, yes.
Right.
I mean, we did a test, like I said, the turnaround time was very reasonable, and the
Is there
quality of the
anything
film
in
was good.
the contract that would allow you to get out if it looked like it
Yes,
was falling?
30 day,
Okay, so you're gonna know
yes,
fairly quickly?
yes.
Very good.
Okay, that's the first one, and you were talking about the second one?
The second one is, as you know, our courier went on to other pastures and gave us an opportunity to hire, and we were fortunate to have just an unusually well-qualified person apply.
Yeah.
She is working at a library, she interned at the Western Reserve Historical Society. I'm assuming that her degree's in history. Her hobby is genealogy, I mean, so she's gonna be a good fit for us. I had her down, she met the staff, and I think she'll fit in very well. Excited to have her on board.
Okay, can we read 6 and 7?
The Archives and Records Center is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute an agreement for digital archiving services between Cuyahoga County Microfilming Center and Geauga County to convert scanned images to preservation microfilm for a 3-year period at a cost of .015 per image.
I'll make that motion. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. The next
Okay.
one. I'll do
And
it.
the Archives and Records Center is requesting the board approve hiring Pam Baster for the position of Archives and Records Clerk, number 2607, at a rate of $10.17 per hour, effective February 3rd, 2014. After successful completion of a 180-day probation period, the rate will increase to $10.70 per hour.
I'll move for 6 and 7.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion stand approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning. Morning,
Frank?
Morning, Joe, how are you?
You know, I don't
Sitting in
think-
the ER, and he's like, I'll take care of that later. I'm in the ER. Like, really? Like, you had to answer me?
Yeah, he sent me a few
Sitting in the
emails.
ER.
I went to visit him, he had his laptop on his lap.
I met with Tim Taylor yesterday for about an hour and 15 minutes. He calls me up and says, he doesn't know where I'm at. He sends me an email, said, can I meet with you at noon? I said, absolutely. Come next door,
You
go
were
to
bored out of
room
your mind.
244, and we conducted business. It was really good.
I mean, I was in the ER room with him, he had all his family there, and I was, feeling bad. It called, well,
you're
like,
here.
I was feeling so bad, he says, I'm great. I'm like,
But he has a monitor on, which we're going to see how it works during the meeting hours.
During the meeting
During
hours.
the, yeah, if there's peaks.
Odd spike between 10 and 11:30.
Oh,
I don't know, David.
That's fine.
oh, well, the first thing we have here is for a final resolution for the cooperation with Ohio Department of Transportation to get those turn lanes in at 87 and Auburn finally to help relieve some of that problem.
Myron's great.
Yeah, Myron's
Yes,
been really good to
he's
work
been
with.
wonderful.
It's been a long journey here. And then that's the first item you have there, and then the second one would be the auditor was gracious enough to come and take care of the financials right here while you're sitting here, so that we could go on to number 10, which is actually execute the contract, so we get this all done in one shot here, all for that project, and the cooperation there.
8, 9,
That's for
and 10 are
Frank's
all
signature.
together then, right?
Frank actually has the same copy of that, and he stamped it and was gonna sign it in front of you, but he stamped it in his office. And we needed 2 originals, so if you don't mind, he's got the exact same thing right here. But before you do sign that, you guys would have to approve first the resolution before he can sign that, if you're pleased to do that.
Number 8.
Yes.
Like to read number 8?
County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the final resolution number 14-010 to cooperate with the Ohio Department of Transportation to improve the intersection of Kingsman Road, State Route 87, and Auburn Road, County Highway 4 in Newberry Township.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Yeah. signed is number 9, so you may want to read that right now.
So with number 9?
The county engineer's office is requesting the board acknowledge County Auditor Frank Leah's attendance and request the auditor to execute the fiscal officer's certificate, Chapter 5521 and Section 5705.41 of the Ohio Revised Code, certifying the county's portion of the appropriated funds for the project to improve the intersection of Kinsman State Route 87 and Auburn Road, County Highway 4 in Newberry Township.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved.
Then the next item we talked about is the actual contract to do this, now that the funds have been appropriated and approved.
Okay. Number 10 then.
County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the contract, Chapter 5521 of the Ohio Revised Code, between the Ohio Department of Transportation and the Board of Commissioners to improve the intersection of Kinsman State Route 87 and Auburn Road, County Highway 4 in Newberry Township.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
And Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. So motion stands approved.
Newberry thanks you both.
That is great. Thank
Only
you,
taken
Frank, for taking that extra effort.
several
to come
years.
here
Oh.
today, yeah.
Anything else for you?
Because
No,
the
that's
other,
great.
they weren't gonna do it. It was Myron that
Joe
came
worked very
in.
hard on this.
Right,
He got
Joe?
it done.
Yeah.
They weren't gonna do it.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
And then you came in, and Myron came in, and boy, everything worked.
Yep.
Amazing.
And Newberry was. very
They were
helpful.
working on it, yeah. That's true.
All right, so now Joe, we got here is for the Bainbridge Township,
Yeah, the next two items we have on here are,
or Auburn, I'm sorry.
are for the commissioners to acknowledge the receipt of plans for a couple of resurfacing projects. One is Bainbridge Road, and the other one's Pettibone Road, in Auburn and Bainbridge Townships. And these do have federal money attached to them out of NOACA, so they need to have a public hearing. And this would be you guys setting the public hearing for it, and at that point, we would discuss the job. And that's the appropriate time for the specifics of the job. Which is really all you're doing right now is set that public hearing, so people can have input if they'd like to.
All right.
But they are strictly just resurfacing jobs.
Both of them, Pettibone and Bainbridge?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so why don't we read 11 and 12 then?
Commissioners, the county engineer's office is requesting the board acknowledge receipt of plans for the asphalt resurfacing of Bainbridge Road, County Highway 11, in Bainbridge and Auburn Townships for resolution number 11-146, approved on September 13th, 2011. This will set a public hearing to review the plans and specifications as submitted to be held on February 11, 2014 at 10:20 a.m. The notice of this public hearing will be advertised on January 23rd, 2014, January 30th, 2014, and on the county website. The county engineer's office is requesting the board acknowledge receipt of plans for the asphalt resurfacing of Pettibone Road, County Highway 607 in Bainbridge Township per resolution number 12-025, approved on February 9th, 2012. This will set a public hearing to review the plans and specifications as submitted to be held on February 11th, 2014 at 10:25 a.m. Notice of this public hearing will be advertised on January 23rd, 2014, January 30th, 2014, and on the county website.
I'll make a motion for both.
Seconded?
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
And Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion is approved.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Joe, before you leave, is there any way to guesstimate, you mentioned NOACA funding, is there any way to ballpark it, about what proportion or what
Yeah,
percentage is
I-
NOACA funded?
I can. it's not a problem, but truly, they're setting the public hearing.
Right,
but-
right, so that will be
but-
discussed in the public
And it will,
hearing?
but I do, the estimate on Bainbridge Road is about 800,000. 640 of that is expected to come from NOACA. And then on Pettibone Road, the estimate is 480,000, and 384,000 is expected to come from NOACA.
Great, thank you.
And that is, and two, if you do have concerns or what have you, do attend that public hearing.
Oh, indeed.
We can address that.
Okay.
But I'm always next door too if you have any other
Right,
questions.
thank you for that
Thanks, Joe. Have a
information.
good day. Mr. White. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Dan.
Do you want me to discuss it first?
Oh, you're like that? Yeah, definitely.
Well, Mary's the veteran, so you guys are gonna get thrown into an exercise this year involving the Perry Nuclear Power Plant. So I want to go over some of the basic changes in the plan from last year, but also at some point this year, we're gonna have to review and go over your responsibilities regarding that. But anyways, they've done something different this year since new Reg 0654 was put together after Three Mile Island. Counties and states, utilities have had to participate in exercises every 2 years. And they run a 6-year cycle, various things, scenarios, and things that the federal government wanted to see within those 6-year cycle, but every 2 years you show something different. They added something different this year. They changed it to an 8-year cycle and have added what they call an HAB, which is a hostile action-based event, which can be force at the plant. So we're trying to get over the control room, secure area. It could be a terrorist threat from an aircraft. It could be a multitude of things. So we had to do a plan revision involving a hostile action-based event, which we are going to have to show this year during our exercise. And our exercise requires Asheville and Geauga, Lake County, and the state of Ohio to participate. And typically, we have about 50 to 60 federal evaluators come in and grade us. And we've done quite well, as Mary knows. We've never had a deficiency. And we've only had a couple areas requiring corrective action and a couple planning issues, which is very uncommon for the United States. We've also made the annex, the radiological emergency response plan, and annex to the emergency operations plan, which you signed in December of last year. That way, if it's not covered in the radiological plan, it is covered in the emergency operations plan, such as incident command and all the different functions that the various county departments have to do over and above a radiological incident, but would be used for a radiological incident. The other thing is, typically when something was to happen before, the control room notifies us within 15 minutes. That goes to the sheriff's office and our office, and it classifies the event of one of 4 levels: unusual event, alert, siren, and general emergency. And based on that, you have the ability to either shelter, evacuate, sub-areas 1 through 7 in Lake Erie. This is different. The commissioners used to make all the protective action decisions, and now it's a little different because it's more attuned to the incident command system that the police and fire do now, where the fire chief's in charge if there's injuries, police are in charge if it's law enforcement oriented, and plus you get the Federal Bureau of Investigation involved if it's a terrorist event. So we've had to rewrite this to look at the Emergency Operations Center more as a resource than incident command, where we're coordinating with the people that are responding to the Perry Nuclear Power Plant, which could be our police and fire departments operating the unified command structure. So all that had to be changed to accommodate these new requirements. The other thing we did was we changed, the utility did, the Joint Information Center, where we release all of our information pertaining to how the county is responding to this incident, was done at Lakeland Community College. That has now changed, and it's now Army Career Center. And of course, we discussed the interaction between our public information officer, which is Linda Verhini, and making sure that information is not released to the general public unless it's been approved by the incident commander, the police, fire chief, or a unified command structure. Could be a variety of other state, local, and federal agencies involved. That's pretty much the major changes that I want to go over with you. And again, we're going to have to do some training with you two shortly, if you have time.
For us to make them.
Yep.
So the commissioners would still declare the state of emergency.
Correct.
That's the big,
Yeah.
I was just looking for that.
When we get to a site area, unusual events very minor, alerts very minor. When we get to a site area emergency, several things happen. One is the commissioners deal with the superintendent of schools to relocate school children. And the other one is to declare a state of emergency so we can implement our plans and get resources from the state and federal government. Commissioners will still do that. But it may not escalate that far. It's kind of a weird thing. If it's something that's, and this is the first time they're
Yes.
testing this, it may not even get above an alert. It may not go to a site. It may go to a site. If it goes to a site, there's no protective active action decisions made by the commissioners until we get to general. That's when you get into shelter and evacuation. You may not get to that level, but you're going to be coordinating all of your county resources to assist the incident command at the power plant, the sheriff, your fire departments. Could be a multitude of people, mobile command posts the sheriff has, lots of different things.
So are we gonna have a practice run?
Oh, yeah.
Before we have the real,
Oh, yeah.
we always have a
I've
practice.
scheduled 3.
Okay. 3 practices?
Well, practice run, and if we do terribly,
We got 2 more to go?
2 more to
Oh,
go.
wow.
I don't think we will. We're pretty,
Just
we work
curious.
very well together in this region because of these plans. I mean, whether it be the CSX, the flooding we had in July of 2006, we just work so well together in a tri-county environment. Well, you know that.
Oh, well, it's your leadership.
No, it's.
Come on, Dale. You kept it all
no,
together.
It's all of us.
And the sheriff,
and-
everybody's done. such a
And the
good
thing that the feds say is, they don't ever see commissioners sitting there around the country at these types of exercises. And every time we've had an exercise, we've got all 3 commissioners. They take it very seriously. And it's much appreciated.
So they took Auburn FD, they're out of the circle of,
No, they were a resource, a backup to assist Bainbridge, but since Bainbridge has been taken out as a primary care center, we have 2 mega centers now. We have Notre Dame and we have Cardinal School District as mega centers. That way we can move more people through quicker with the amount of extra portals we got through. Lake County got through a grant. So they're not really needed. And one thing we did do in here is just-in-time training. And something that we're going to be putting on the UH website for continuing education credits. We're going to put all of our training on there. Maybe it's something we want to present at one of your Thursday night meetings.
okay.
The concept and how it will assist towards police and fire getting continuing education credits and, I forget the
And
question.
adding the Auburn Career Center, what would that function be?
That's a joint information center. That's where the public information officers from Lake, Geauga, Asheville, and the state of Ohio, and the utility go to address the media. We don't want them coming to the emergency operations center and interrupting you. Your spokesperson goes there, and then any local or federal or national news network goes to that location and gets the official information, because like 3 Mile Island, they didn't have anything set up, and there were so many different rumors going on that the correct information wasn't getting out. And the purpose of this is to make sure the correct information gets out to the general public.
How did you do in the Sandy thing, when they had all that water that went into New York City? How did they handle that? I mean, did you ever get any info on that?
You know, it
When they
didn't
were
seem to get
flooding
the
all over?
attention that Katrina got, and I'm not sure that they're back to where they were.
They're still
Um,
limping over there.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing we have a meeting on today is we're updating our mitigation plan. We've invited all the townships, villages, and
Yeah.
various officials. Maybe that's something else you wanna go over at the public hearing on a Thursday night. That the government keeps paying for the same thing over and over and over again. You know, at some point, that house at the corner of Fairmont and 306, it floods every year. We should mitigate that by either putting it on stilts, buying it, tearing it down, or buying it and giving it to the park district or whatever. We shouldn't be paying for things over and over and over again, and the government keeps doing that.
And then you have all those folks in New York and New Jersey, they're on the.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
you say to yourself, why would they move them all out?
Why
of
would
there?
they get
Why would they
insured?
continue?
Well, I heard something when I was in North Carolina. You have to live at least, I think, 40% of your time in your home on the beach. Otherwise, you can't get insurance, number one.
Oh, it's,
And then to get insurance is a golly amount of
oh,
money.
it's
But
ridiculous.
you chose to live there, you know?
Yeah.
But it just seems strange that the government, why, if you've got a situation that keeps flooding, mitigate it.
You know, even if they put up seawalls, I mean, that water's gonna go back in those subways, it's gonna fill up. It's gonna continue to do that. It just seems to me, you know.
You guys are all against rebuilding New Orleans?
Well, they don't wanna let go of their
Sea level.
oceanfront property. They don't wanna let go of it.
I know, it's,
It's crazy.
I don't know what the answer to it,
Yeah.
but
Crazy.
we have to update our mitigation plan because if any money does become available, and I'm not saying we're out trying to find it, but if we have a situation where we get a presidential, we've had several presidential declarations. And typically it's the same places that get hit if it's a flooding situation. And there's mitigation money available. Why wouldn't it be wise to use the federal money
Move them
to
out.
mitigate that? So the next time it happens, we're not paying it again and again and again. Sorry, it's good start.
No, no,
No,
that's good.
fine.
It's,
Thank
it's
you.
fascinating, it really is.
Okay, number 13 then.
The Department of Emergency Services is requesting the board approve and authorize the Department of Emergency Services Director to execute, and further, approve and execute the radiological emergency response plan for emergency at the Perry Nuclear Power Plant, Revision 22, dated January 2014.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Smeedy? Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Yep.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Jobs and Family Services.
Hi, Brad, how are you?
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, good. It brought me back to Dale about 25 years ago. For some reason, the disaster people decided that the welfare department back then needed to be the emergency response workers, so there'd be a meltdown at the Perry plant. So they came into our department with all the Geiger counters and taught us how to use our Geiger counters and the showers, the decontamination showers. We're thinking, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
It did. We were that was like a week-long training to how to respond to that. So I think they soon
Wow.
got rid of that. But, that was good. Because what were we going to do?
Yeah.
We could try. We knew how to work the Geiger counter and say something was radioactive. So.
Find anybody radioactive?
No. But it was interesting though. It was like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got information on the Family First.
Yes, it's the mutual funding agreement to help fund with the Family First Council. It's a collaborative organization, which, as you can see on there, that the Job and Family Services, the Mental Health Board, Juvenile Court, the county commissioners, all and Metzenbaum all contribute to help with. Primarily those kids that we think that are falling through the cracks, and also the ones that need more intensive services and help and things of that nature, and filling in as we need to with kids. I think that Nancy, who's the director, is also part of the opiate task force, and she's spearheading the postcards that we're going to be sending out the task force to all the parents of all the children in all the 7 school districts. to make them help aware and help, hopefully stem the tide of what's going on across the country. So.
Okay. Any questions? We could read number 14 then.
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board approve and execute the Geauga County Family First Council Mutual Funding Agreement between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners, Geauga County Job and Family Services, Geauga County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Geauga County Board of Mental Health and Recovery Services, and Geauga County Juvenile Court for funding of the Geauga County Family First Council for the period January 1st, 2014 through June 30th, 2014. This agreement commits the Board of County Commissioners to providing a support payment of $20,434 from the general fund.
That hasn't really changed over the years.
I think that's been like for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're the county might go into other supportive social services, so I think that with this contribution is very helpful for us here.
I'll move.
Second?
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
I think we're gonna be seeing you in a couple of weeks, I suppose.
Yes.
Yes, right.
I
so-
talked to Tim about it at the last meeting, and I hope I'll be out of town for a week, and then I'll be back, and then I'm gonna go see everyone.
Oh, okay. Good luck on your tour then, I guess.
Okay, thank
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 you.
you. Have a good day.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Burnett? Morning.
Morning. By the way, nice job on that hole in the wall.
Gotta go over and look at that.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
putting
the-
the desk up today.
Yeah, Frank's
This
real
morning,
happy.
they were putting those desks up, so.
Wow.
So, looks good.
Got the
Good
whole,
job.
got new carpet in there, so.
Washed the walls. The day I was there, I smelled pine sol or something.
That's good.
Yeah, we try and get it cleaned up a little bit, so.
Very nice.
I hope it works out for them, so. This one's for, Mr. Claypool, to hunt legally down at the county home on the back section of the property that we have down there, via bow.
Is it
bow
bow and
hole.
arrow or?
Yeah, bow and arrow, yeah, that's it, so. I think I put this to, March 5th of 2015, if I remember right, so.
Yeah.
That'd be, yeah, if I remember right, from what I saw, that was the end of bow
Yeah,
season.
yep,
For
yep.
the year, so.
Any questions?
No.
If we could read number 15?
Is it to be March 5th, or does it say March 1st?
Oh, yeah,
It
that's
says
probably.
March 1st
It's
here.
probably, yeah, it's probably March
Okay.
1st. So I was
Okay.
trying to remember off the
March
top of my
1st.
head.
Correct, okay. The Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the license agreement with Walter Claypool, giving permission to hunt legal game on county-owned property, parcel number 13-705200 in Clarendon Township for the period January 16th, 2014 through March 1st, 2015.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Smitty?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
You all have a good day.
And Mr. Bowen?
Morning.
How you doing?
Morning.
Aye, Donna.
Just finished union negotiations and had
Good.
it went perfectly smooth and vote on it next week.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, good.
Good job.
Okay, this is hopefully the last batch of service contract for a while. We'll just have stragglers coming in, so there's 7 of them. A couple of them are actual dollar amounts to be spent, and a couple of them are just standby, so maybe I'll just go through them one or two at a time here. The very first one is for $2,324, and this one will actually be spent this year, and it's with Comfort Systems, and it'll be for the maintenance throughout the seasons here at our Merritt Road Garage. Then the next 2 are with CUE. One's for sewer, one for water. Each of them are for $5,000 for any kind of emergency services you would need for sewer breaks or water line breaks. That's kind of excavating. The next 3 are with the board plumbing. One is for $2,500 on standby for HVAC. One is for $5,000 for standby for any kind of plumbing emergencies. And then one is for $1,665, which we will spend We have 2 backflow preventers that the Cleveland Water Department requires us to test every year. So we know that dollar amount and we have it already prepared. So when they send us the forms, we'll have them go out there and fill those out. And then the last one is with United Survey, just to keep them on standby for $20,000 for any kind of televising or cleaning the sewer lines that are needed.
Okay, does the board have any issues with any of the following contracts?
No, I
No,
don't.
I didn't see any.
So then if we could read number 17 through number 24,
22.
or I'm sorry, 22. Yep, apologize.
Just keep them coming.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with Comfort Systems USA to perform services to maintain the HVAC system at the garage located at 12550 Merritt Road, including spring, summer, fall, and winter maintenance inspections for year 2014 in the amount of $2,324. The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with CUE Excavating Contractors LLC to perform general excavating services at various locations in the water section for year 2014 in the amount of $5,000. The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with CUE Excavating Contractors LLC to perform general excavating services at various locations in the wastewater section for year 2014 in the amount of $5,000. The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with the board's 1-hour heating and air conditioning to perform HVAC services for year 2014 in the amount of $2,500. The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with the board's 1-hour heating and air conditioning to perform annual testing of backflow prevention devices at the corner of Holbrook and South Franklin Street, and at the corner of Chagrin River Road and South Franklin Street for year 2014 in the amount of $1,665. The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with the board's 1-hour heating and air conditioning to perform emergency plumbing repairs for year 2014 in the amount of $5,000. The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with United Survey Incorporated to perform general and emergency cleaning, televising, grouting, and rehabilitation of sewer lines and manholes for year 2014 in the amount of $20,000.
If we have a motion,
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
aye. Motions all stand approved.
Okay, so the last 2 are for Thompson, and hopefully these are the last 2 items before they give us clearance. We sent them an advertisement notice that we'd like to start advertising for bids on January 31st, with bids due February 26th. So hopefully once they get these 2 forms, they'll approve that bidding process there for us.
Okay.
The first one is for the operating budget we have to give them an operating budget form here, and it's for the proposed 2015 year, how it would look. And then the second one is establishing the sewer rates for Thompson. And basically, we set them up to be the exact same rate as Parkman. The key on this is after the project is over with, we have that, when we transfer some of that money to cover the loan for Parkman, to reduce our interest from Parkman from like whatever, 6 or 7% down to 2 or 3%, then we can share the cost of both service areas together and bring the service down together. So, well, the rates will start at 75.35, but then hopefully by the time the project is over, we can reduce the rates for both of them. So that's just.
So that's, for those tapped in, they'll pay that every month?
That's the monthly sewer fee.
Wow.
So that's currently what Parkman's paying right now.
Wow.
So hopefully we can reduce that for both
Yeah.
Thompson and for Parkman once the project is over.
Yeah.
And then this does establish the tap-in fee, which we currently is free for Thompson, but then after the project is over with and everybody is tied in that's existing there, then our standard tap-in fee, which is currently $6,000, would become into effect.
Now, they don't have a water charge because they have wells.
They will.
So it just is the only charge.
Okay,
That's interesting.
so if we could read number 23 then.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board authorize the president of the board to execute the USDA Form RD 442-7, proposed operating budget for the first full year of operation, proposed 2015, for the Thompson wastewater treatment plant in Thompson Township.
Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
And again, the last one is also just establishing that rate of $75 equal for Parkman. It's basically what I explained just now.
Okay, so 24.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and establish the rate structure for the Thompson Sewer Service Area. Commercial and residential tap-in fees will be covered by the various funding agencies prior to January 1st, 2016. After this date, the fee to connect would be the current tap-in fee at the time, currently $6,000 per sewer unit. Sewer rates will be $75.35 per month, or $150.70 per 2-month billing cycle.
Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Smeeden?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. Thank you.
I'll explain the last one here.
Okay.
This is, you took action on January 7th for this, for 2014, to allow me to approve financials on regular meeting days that were canceled due to the action to cancel or lack of a quorum. Due to the change in the schedule, we're going to have Thursdays that aren't in the schedule. I'm asking the board to approve a modification of that action just to give me the authority to approve financials on days, you know, where they're needed. And then at the next meeting when you meet, I'll explain what it was I approved, so you'll have oversight over what I'm doing.
Okay. Is there any objections?
This will work.
All right, if you could read number 25.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board amend the action approved on January 7th, 2014, granting the county administrator the authority to execute in the case of a lack of quorum of commissioners and/or if session is canceled on a regular financial day or on a day when financials need to be approved. The required approvals for county financials on behalf of the board during year 2014 as authorized by ORC 305.3, and which duties shall be performed under the direction and supervision of the commissioners.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
And then I have one more I'd like the board to consider. Commissioner Smeedy just got a letter that was sent to her. She is the designated representative for the NOCCOG, or this was GAP,
Right.
which is Geauga Ashtabula Portage Partnership, and now it's Northeastern Ohio Consortium Council of Governments. This letter came from the executive director of NOCCOG. It says, during the Area 19 WIB meeting, that's Workforce Investment Board, held on December 4th, 2 individuals from Geauga County stated they wish to serve as members on the Northeastern Ohio Consortium Council of Governments Area 19 Youth Council. Those individuals are Thomas C. Michael of Tag Media, Chardon, and Brian Mallory of Face to Face Solutions, also in Chardon. It's my experience, you know, knowing how things go with GAP, it's always hard to get people from the private sector
wanna do it.
to serve on these boards. So
Okay.
if they want to step up, what we need to do is just do, the motion would read, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Thomas C. Michael and Brian Mallory to the Northeastern Ohio Consortium Council of Governments Area 19 Youth Council.
I have no
Okay.
So moved. I mean, they want to go there?
You moved?
I moved.
Second? I mean, I know,
You
so.
do. Okay.
Commissioner Smeedy?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
And Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. Something that I would just kind of like to talk about is just as far as the succession plan, if, let's say, you were to need some time, as far as for the county administrator position, we're to just fill in for your responsibilities. Our plan would be to put Heidi, or what would we want to do if, just, you know, I don't think that we're going to get to that,
That's a
but
good, yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that we're,
You know, if it was long-term, I was thinking like Tim Taylor, if you were out for a month or something. Only because he has done it.
Well, he's
before.
done it, and my only.
I don't know if he could, but I'm just
Well,
saying.
he's capable of, my
But
question would
Heidi
be
could
his time. Heidi, I
Heidi
think,
could do
you know,
it.
knows
Heidi
what's
could
going
do it
on
too.
here, so for
Yeah.
fill-in.
I have no problem, I'm
I'm
just
just-
saying if it was
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I wanted to talk about that, just,
Sure.
you know, if you have to, you know, take a little bit of a leave or
We
something.
don't
Yeah.
want,
then
we
I
don't
just-
want you killing yourself
no,
here.
the nature of what happened to me, I don't think it's gonna require any kind of long-term. It's
Okay.
just a matter of doing some tests.
Adjustments.
That don't
Okay.
require me to be gone for those, but obviously, I want you guys to
Oh,
feel
Lord,
comfortable.
I was,
Okay.
Yeah.
I just, as
Yeah.
long as you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
and all I would ask is, as far as that, I know that you've got a great relationship working with Heidi, is if there's anything specifically to just, you know, bring her up to speed on
Absolutely.
certain things, that if you had to go, it wouldn't be something where you'd be putting a lot of stress on yourself or
Yeah.
Right.
crunching yourself to say, now what do I do and how do I
Right.
get this?
Yeah, I don't
done?
wanna leave, you know, I mean, we have great employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I
Yeah.
mean, that's because over the years, you know, the board has hired great employees. And, you know, I'm not the type of person that tries to keep it
Come
all
in.
on there. I like
Yeah.
to pass it out, so I
Okay.
don't want anybody to feel, you know,
I
that there'd be
guess
a
what
problem.
I'd feel comfortable with, I don't know about the other two, is that if we're telling you or asking you to ask to get a couple of alternatives,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, maybe Heidi, but what, and then if Heidi's, you know,
Yeah.
then now we got
I
one
just
person
thought,
and
yeah, like-
Well,
maybe
you
just
know,
a couple.
Linda
Linda
Verhey's
Verheyden
another
would be
one.
good too.
With her experience
Just-
with government,
Yeah.
yeah,
Someone who could
she's-
just walk right in and.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
That's all I, you know, just
Okay.
a succession
I'd say those
planning.
would be
Yeah.
those would be the two that I would highly recommend,
Okay.
just
Not
because
that
of
we
their
expected it,
location.
just to
No,
be
no,
able to
no,
communicate this, just so that I'd
Absolutely.
rather discuss it
Yeah.
and not need it than need it and not discuss it, so.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have to be real cold before we go to this option.
Oh,
Thank you. Be like Bernie, the weekends at Bernie, pop you in the chair.
Prop you up upstairs.
oh,
Um,
gee.
What was that movie?
Weekends
Weekend
at-
at
Where they
Weekend
dragged
at
that guy
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
bar
Yeah.
and
With
they
the-
said, one more time.
Put him on the beach.
Yeah, sunglasses, just give me some sunglasses.
Well, we're happy that you're recovering.
Well, thank you.
Okay. So, Mary, as far as this here for these weekly reports filed by the county warden, just acknowledge that we received them, right?
Yeah, and then just run through the meetings here
Okay,
coming
so
up.
for the 16th, Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste Board of Directors is at noon. It's probably gonna be later that commissioners will be able to arrive there. The 21st and the 23rd is canceled and canceled. And the next meeting is going to be held then on the date of the 28th. And the 29th is Geauga County Terrorism Annual Members Meeting, 6:30 at Middlefield Community Room. And Thursday, the 30th, the commissioners will hold a regular session again also.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
And you
Okay.
did a great job,
Yep.
Ralph,
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
You
really
gonna mention the township?
I was gonna mention that
Oh.
on the January 29th, as well as the tourism, we have the township meeting.
Oh, we can't, oh my
on the
God,
same
it's the
night.
same
Yeah,
day.
So, yeah, that's not a good deal. And this afternoon,
Oh.
I didn't know it until after
right.
Monday and got
Yeah.
appointed.
Oh.
There's a microfilm board down here, which I
Well,
asked, and they said,
microfilm, you could send David down, or you could send someone
well,
down.
they said somebody, they don't have a quorum. So I said, well, okay, I need to probably go down and, since I got appointed in.
Well, it's very
Fine.
short, the meeting will
Well,
take five.
yeah, I don't
5
know,
minutes.
I don't, I know it's in the building in the basement, that's what I know.
It's our record center.
Yeah, I'll go down there and knock on
That's not
the
a-
door and go in.
That's not
I
a
don't
real
know, so,
important meeting.
uh,
Anyway, that's okay. All right.
Thank you for coming.
Good job.